Hi, good morning.
Good morning. So busy in festival.
Yeah, actually, no, not festival. Actually, we have on its login is early today, 8 o'clock.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
My
Uh-huh.
usually login time is 8 o'clock. That's why.
Oh, morning 8 o'clock.
Yes.
So anyway, we are planning for the class around 7 a.m. So is that works, right?
That will work for me.
Okay.
From
So
when we are having that?
from tomorrow we are starting, like we are combining that batch with this batch.
Okay,
From
okay.
tomorrow, I think link also will be changed.
Changed. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So the who are enrolling, so they are allowed to join that
Okay,
class.
okay.
Okay. So working in the same domain?
Yeah, testing only.
Manual?
No automation testing. So I'm having just social experience, but
Uh-huh.
due to some of the Spring Boot services are there. So due to that, we
Mm,
have implementation of API testing over that. It's a little bit of
mm,
confusion, so I thought to take a course. Overview,
mm,
I worked upon this one, rest assured, but not have so
mm,
much of confidence. Little
mm.
bit of
Okay. So JSON and all, you have an idea, right? We are using
uh,
JSON. What
yeah, I have
exactly the
an idea.
purpose of JSON? Okay. So today we will talk about JSON. Okay. So JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation.
Hmm.
Why we will use it, Anand?
Like like JSON we use basically it handles the data. So multiple of data which makes not like
Uh-huh.
not very sure. Like multiple data can be accumulated in one form, I can say.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if you are doing any of the backend testing, okay. So API is also
Mm,
kind of backend testing only. So backend testing is nothing
mm,
but API testing, correct? So if you are
mm.
doing any backend testing means you must know that what you mean by JSON. Okay. So JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. Okay, very basic purpose is to transfer the information from one system to another system. Okay, the very basic purpose, the purpose of this JSON is first transfer the information from one system to another system.
Okay.
Mm, Okay, so suppose there are two systems are there to communicate with
Okay.
each other. Okay, maybe you can say there may be a communication is happening between the client and server. Okay, so take let's say, so this is my client and this is my server. So what is happening here? So client is sending a request to the server, correct? So client is sending request to the server like this. Okay, server is giving response back, correct? So whenever client is sending some request, so server has to accept that request and it has to send the response. Okay, in which format it will send while sending the response?
JSON,
In which format will send?
JSON, JSON format.
Okay, so they will make use of this JSON format. Okay, so when the client is requesting something to the server, server will respond back to that request. Okay, so in which format? Usually they will make use of a JSON format. Okay, nowadays everyone is using this JSON format only. Before they were using like XML, HTML, all those things. Okay, but this, since it is a very lightweight language, okay, and very easy to understand and write also. Okay, so that's why we are making use of this JSON format. Okay,
Okay.
so this much clear.
Yeah, clear.
So then, okay. So client, okay, client is nothing but can be your browser or any of the site. Okay. So you are accessing the application place. Okay. For example, when you're opening the browser and when you're if you want to access any of the application, so you're what you're writing there, you're writing the URL path. So through that URL path, based upon the request, you're sending the request to the server. Okay. So for example, this is the browser. So here you are requesting something like http colon double slash um x xyz dot com. So suppose you're requesting something, please display this index page for me, like this. Okay. So this request is going and it is going to the server, and in response to that, it is displaying us index page. Okay. It is displaying us index page. Okay, but now what I'm telling here, okay, how it is responding in the JSON format. Okay, but for us it is getting in the like which format it is getting in the UI? In
The U
HTML format.
HTML format.
Correct. See, okay, so we are requesting here this thing. Okay, and okay, the request is going to the server, and in response to that, it is replying back in the JSON format. I'm telling, okay, you can ask me the question. Okay, you were telling that, okay, we are getting the response in the JSON format, but how we can able to see in the UI in HTML format? Please avoid the background noise. Who is doing that background noise?
So what's it?
Okay. Hmm. Okay. So, okay, we are requesting and the response we are getting in the JSON format, and then we are how it is displaying it in the HTML format, that we will learn today. Okay, so how the request is going in response to that, how the server is responding, and after that, after getting the response, how it is converting something which is in the UI format. Okay, that we will learn how it is working in the background. Okay, so now client is sending a request to this server. In which format it will send? Okay, the client is sending the request to this server. Okay, so this is called HTTP request. Okay, so now server is sending same response to the client on the basis of the request. Okay, so can what basis this client is sending the request, in the same way the server is also responding back. Okay, now tell me what kind of response it is responding.
HTTP
Server.
response only.
Yeah. Okay. So it is, accepting the HTTP request. So it is also responding in the same way only, HTTP response. So now this server and client communication is happening. Okay. So now the server and client communication happening. The response is coming in the form of JSON object. Okay, so now what is happening whenever we are sending some request, it is going in the form of HTTP request. Okay, in the HTTP request, all the details will be present. Okay, what details? Okay, which domain it has to go in the server. Okay, which domain it has to go in the domain, which resource it exactly it need. Okay, all this information will be present in this request. Okay, so once after getting the request, the server will take that request and it will respond to the particular request based upon the whatever the request it is requesting. Okay, so it is respond in the format of JSON format. Okay, what is the chat? Okay. Okay, so then first of all, we will understand what is this JSON exactly. Okay, JSON is very simple language. It is okay, very simple it is to learn. So easy we can say. Okay, JSON is simple language and very lightweight and easy to write and understand. Okay, and it is available in the form of how we are writing the JSON, in which format.
Key and value pairs.
Okay, so I think you guys have written like this in a collection topic, right?
Yes.
While working with the map concept,
Hmm.
key value format. Okay, so the same way we are also writing here. Okay, so it is very easy to learn, guys. Okay, so then, okay, then the rule of the JSON is it should start from the curly brace and ends with a curly brace. Okay, it should start from this brace and it ends with this curly brace. Okay, then in between this we are writing whatever the attributes we needed. Okay, let's say I have an employee object. Okay, I have an employee object, and this particular employee object I have some couple of variables. Okay, take this variable. Okay, 1 second. Okay, you guys only tell me now. Okay, in Java I have some employee objects. Okay, emp object e is equal to new emp. So this is how we create our object in Java, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, so this is one employee object, and in this object I have some attributes like employee ID. Just for example sake, I'm taking employee ID I have, and employee name I have, and I have a salary. Salary I have. Okay, the same thing, whatever the thing I'm writing here, I will like convert this in a JSON format. I will give the hint. Okay, so whatever the attributes are there, it should be present in the key value pair. Okay, so suppose here I'm giving the value like this. Employee ID is equal to 123. Okay, and then employee name is equal to string. String should be enclosed with double quotes. So let's take Harsh. Okay, then salary is equal to let's make it as 60,000. Okay. Okay. Same thing. I want to convert it to the JSON format. How will I convert? How do I do that? So once you go through this, okay, once you go through this syntax and data types rules, okay, all JSON data is written inside the curly brace, okay. So when we are writing any of the attributes, like how we are writing here, okay, here how we are writing, so this is what we call attributes, okay. So these attributes we should be enclosed within the curly braces, okay. And then second rule, JSON data is represented as key value pair. Okay, so how we are representing here? Okay, this, okay, how we are assigning the value, this thing we need to represent in the key value pair. Key value pair is nothing but how we will assign the values in a collection topic, like in a map and all, we will assign key value pairs in the same way. Okay, so that is the second rule. And third rule, key should be always be enclosed in the double quotes. Okay, key always we have to enclose in the double quotes. Okay, always separate a key value with a colon. Okay, this is the fourth rule. And value should be written approximately, and string double quotes should be used, while for the numbers and boolean quotes should not be used. Okay, which means that for the strings, okay, for the strings we have to use the double quotes for the value. Okay, for the numbers and booleans and all, we are not using any double quotes. Okay, then, and to separate a data, comma should be used to separate a one data to one data. So for example, here this is one data, this is one data, this is one attributes, this is one data, this is one data. To separate this data from this data, we are using comma here. And then for the array square bracket, okay, this array is okay. Next I will teach you this one. Okay, now tell me, now help me to write this. Okay, help me to write this. Okay, this object I have to convert in a JSON format. What is the
Okay.
syntax? Hmm?
So first the curly braces will give
Okay,
start curly
first it
braces
should start from curly brace and end with curly brace. Okay,
and
in
with the
between
curly
that
braces.
we will write all the attributes. Okay, now tell me.
So first we'll write the employee ID,
Okay, hmm, employee
in the
ID.
then colon,
Okay, colon.
then we'll give the value like 123,
Okay.
separated by comma.
Okay. Mm.
Then again
Uh, both
employee,
should
Mm-hmm.
both key and value should be in double code, right?
Yeah, key should be double quotes, and
double quotes,
value
yes.
should be double quotes, or
Then
what?
No, it should
number should
integer
Is
should
a
not be there. No, integer.
see, if it is a string, then you can. Okay, if it is a number, no need. Okay, number and boolean, it's not required. And employee name, and employee name. See, this is the string I'm using. That's why double quotes. Okay, comma. Okay. Now after that,
Then salary
mm,
double 60,000.
okay, then end with the object.
Curly
Okay,
brace, yes.
so this is what we called as a one object. Okay, inside the object we have all the attributes value. Okay, you can also name this object like this, emp semicolon. Okay, so this is how we are naming the object. For example, now you want to access a employee id. Okay, how you are doing? If you want to access the employee id now, so by that time, okay, we have a object name. How we are doing in the Java? We are taking the object reference, correct? we are accessing some value inside the Java objects. He dot employee ID,
ID.
like this only we are referring like accessing the values, right? In Java
Yes.
we are taking this object reference and we are specifying whatever the attribute we needed, correct? In the same way, this is the JSON format. Okay, in the JSON also we have provided object name here. What is the object name here?
EMP.
Yeah, okay, I want to access employee name or employee ID. Okay, I want to access the employee ID. How do I write that?
So EMP dot employee ID.
Yeah, emp dot employee ID. Okay, whatever employee ID. Okay, this is how we need to access the objects. Okay, so object is nothing but inside the object we are enclosing all the attributes of the employees. Okay, understood the syntax.
Yes.
Okay, so now what happens here? So now client, okay, say suppose here client is requesting like this. Here, okay, so client is requesting like this. Here in the browser we are also sending like this. Okay, just simply example I'm giving. Okay, please give me this data. Okay, like this we are sending one request. Okay, it is going to the, this request is going to the server and it will respond in the form of JSON. How it will respond? In this way it will respond. This is how it will respond in the JSON format. Okay. Okay, clear.
Yeah. Clear.
Ma'am,
Mm.
so request will be sent in the form of URL, right? Web URL. But
Uh-huh. Mm.
do we send request also in the form of JSON?
Yes. For example, you want to create one employee. Okay, how you will do that? If you want to create one employee now. Okay, so that also in the form of JSON only we are sending the data. In the body we are writing all the things in the JSON format only. So that will be running like next we are after this JSON concept. So next topic we are learning on all the methods. Okay, get method, post method, delete and put and patch. Okay, so get is okay, whatever we are doing here is the get method, means we are just requesting some data. Okay, please give me employee data, like that we are asking the data. Okay, so suppose you want to create one employee detail. So by the time you have to create the employee data, right? Okay. So by the time also you are sending the data in the form of JSON only. Okay. So that thing we are learning in the get, post and put patch we will be learning. Okay. So in that method we are learning all these things. Okay. So when you are creating some request, okay, here you are just requesting the like just requesting the data. Okay, so that's why you're not sending any data and you are just requesting the data. You are not sending any data in the form of JSON, anything you're not sending, just already some data is present in the database, just you're requesting that. So say suppose you want to create one data. Okay, so by that time for example you take this is the college. Okay, in this college there are already some students are already joined. Okay, so you are just requesting, okay, what are all the students already joined, please give me that data. So this is what you are just requesting. Okay, so suppose one more student is today is joining one more student. So this management, okay, management has to create his details in this database. Okay, by the time you are performing creation. Okay, how you are doing the creation? Same way. Okay, like this only. So yes, say suppose you're creating one student name like this. Okay, student object you're creating, student and colon when the braces. Okay, student name. Okay, student name. um X Y Z. Okay, and student what is that? Hmm, student height. Okay, just simply I'm giving, okay. And so like this, just you're creating the student data, okay. So by the time you have to send the data in the form of JSON only, okay. That also we are working further, okay. While working with all the methods of the HTTP, we are working, okay. So here just simply we are requesting the data, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So so what happens, this is our client, okay. So this is client requesting some data like please give me employee information, okay. And for that server is also responding like this, like in the JSON format it is responding, okay. So at the server side we have some Java object, okay. At the server side we have some Java object. How we have a Java object, okay. Maybe this in server side our application is there, so maybe our application has built in the Java language, okay. Whatever it may be, either it may be a Java language, either it may be a C sharp, either it may be a Python, or it may be what is that Node.js, whatever it may be, okay. So we have created the object like this, okay. So what happens then, so whenever the request is going here, we have created the object in the particular language, okay. Here we are creating in the Java language, okay. So from this Java language we have to convert it in the JSON format, okay. Correct. First, in the server, we will be having our application. When the request is going, the request the server will accept, and it will in the business layer. All the action will be performed. Okay. So in the business layer, obviously we will be writing in the object in the form of particular language. Okay, so suppose our application is in the Java language, we have written it in the Java language. Okay, so okay, after that, what it has to do, the server has to respond back to the client. Okay, so it's not possible my server to respond as it is in this particular language. Correct. Okay, if we respond it to in the Java language only, how will this client will understand? Okay, whether the common people is able to understand this, how we are written in the Java language, only programmer can able to understand. Correct. Hmm? Correct. The server side developer has created a employee object like this, okay, but it will not possible to send the particular Java object as it is to the client. Okay, so now you have to ask me the question, okay, why we have to use JSON in the between? Okay, why we need to use? Because in the server side, say suppose this is my browser. Okay, this is my browser. Here I'm requesting this URL. This request I'm requesting. Okay, so it is this request is going in my server. Say suppose some application is there. This application is built in the Java language. Okay, so in the Java language, obviously in the inside the some application has to work means obviously developers will be written some logic inside that. Okay, business logic they have written. Yes, whenever the request is coming, whenever they are requesting employees, it has to work like this. One employee object is created. In that, all the whatever they are requesting is present. It has to go like this. So some business logic they have written. Okay, so what happens when the request is coming here? Okay, it will comes to the server. The server it will go and it will work with this object. Okay, so for us now for the server it is not possible to respond as it is in the object how they are present here. Correct, it is not possible to same way, means it is not possible to display this thing whatever we are writing here, this one, it is not possible to display for the client. Correct. So what we have to do now, what exactly we will do now? Okay, so at the server side we convert this particular employee object into JSON. Okay, so then we will display the things on the UI. Okay, understanding what I'm telling.
Can you repeat once more, please? This one, this
Mm-hmm,
one.
mm-hmm.
Can you repeat once on this one?
Okay. So this is my client. Okay, client it may be any browser and any other site. Okay, so whenever we are requesting something, okay, request is going to the server. Okay, in the server we will be having our application. Okay, whatever the request we are sending, it has to okay, it has to accept the request and it has to respond back for the client. Okay, so what happens? Okay, now we are requesting the employee. Okay, please provide me employee detail. Okay, okay, request is coming here. Okay, now whenever we are requesting, the request is coming here now. Request is coming to the server. Okay, in the server, maybe this in the server we have built our application in the Java language. Okay, so how what happens inside the Java language when we are requesting something, the employee object will be created. Okay, in the application level, in the business level, I'm telling. Okay, business logic, how they are written is employee object is created. In the employee object, all these attribute present. Employee ID, employee name, salary, all this attribute present. Okay. Okay, it is requesting and to the server. Okay, inside the server already the data is present, whatever it is requesting. But for the server, it is not possible to as it is what however it is particular this object, it is not possible to send as it is to the client, correct? Because the client will not understand this language because this is in Java language. How this client will understand? Correct. Because maybe my browser is developed using the HTML language. Okay. If the server, if the response is given in the this Java object this like this way means how this client will understand this Java language. Correct. Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to convey you guys is why we are using JSON in between. Okay, so suppose my client is HTML. Okay, okay, HTML. It is my browser has built in the HTML, and one application is there here. Okay, so for this application, I'm requesting please give me employee detail. Okay, okay, request is going to the inside the server. Okay, so when it is going or in the business logic it will work like this. Okay, employee object is created. Okay, and whatever the employee detail is there, all it is present here. Okay, but for the server it is not possible to send as it is this object like this because this client will not understand if I send like this. Okay, for example, any of the non-programmer is there. Okay, if I for him whenever he is requesting employee detail, if we send like this employee object he is equal to new employee object, employee ID is equal to 123, employee name is equal to Harsh, salary like this in this format, if we send means is able to understand or he will get confusion. Hmm? So it is
Confusion only.
yeah, correct. Being a programmer, we can able to understand, but it is not possible to server to send as it is, how it is present in his business logic. So it is not possible to send as it is to the client. That's why what we are doing here, what we have to do here, this employee object, how it is created here. Okay, in the server, we are converting it to JSON format. Okay, this format we are converting. Okay, so then we are responding to the client in the form of JSON. Okay, so the request is coming here and we are responding in the form of JSON. But before responding back, what is happening internally? The server is converting whatever the object is present in that particular language, it is converting to the JSON language. Okay, understanding? Because I cannot display this employee object as it is, it is so difficult to pass it, it is so difficult to pass it. Okay, so that's why I'm converting. Okay, and also client doesn't understand if we send like this. Okay, so suppose if I am sending the, if I'm using a Java, I will send the Java object like this. Okay, if I'm using the .NET, I will send a .NET object like this. Okay, but if I send like this, okay, whatever I am writing in this in this box, if I send like this, client will not understand. Okay, that's why in the server level we will convert this entire object into JSON format. Okay, then we will respond it to the particular client. This JSON will be understandable by each and every language. Okay, that's why we are converting it to the JSON language. Because say suppose just example I'm providing here, it is in my .NET and it is in Java. If I respond in the Java object, .NET object will not get to know what it is responding. That's why in the for the communication between the two application, JSON is common language. Okay, so that's why in the server level we are converting whatever the request response you are getting it in the JSON format, then we are sending it to the client or UI. Okay, the server side programming language can be anything, whether it may be a Java, and how client understand JSON format. Okay, so how client understand JSON. Okay, now I will tell you. Okay, so this server side, it may be anything. Okay. So in the server side, it may be anything, like it may be a Java, it may be a .NET, anything it may be. Okay, but JSON is a universal. Okay, it is the universal notation. It will be understood by each and every language. Okay, that's why this is very simple language. Okay, that's why it's key value pair. No, it will be understood by all the HTML, or it may be a Java, it may be a .NET. It is understandable by each and every language. It is like a universal language. Okay, so that's why we are converting whatever the response we are getting it in the particular language to the JSON format. Okay, and to transfer the information, so we convert the object into a JSON. Okay, understanding or getting any confusion?
Oh, understood.
Mm-hmm. Understood.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so any doubt means you can ask me. So you understood, right? What is this server? Inside the server, how it is. Okay, inside the server, what is present?
Like various programming skill, like various programming, like Java or something, some like Ruby,
Mm,
Perl, everything, anything can be there. So in
like
order
application.
to,
Okay.
yeah, application which is built
Mm,
on the language, you can
mm.
say.
See, application will be built by using any of the programming language only,
Yes,
correct? Okay.
yes.
So that application is present. For this application, we are requesting. Okay. Okay. So for this particular application, we are requesting this application has built in any of the programming language. Okay. So inside the application, in the like a business logic, they are written. Okay, whenever they are requesting employees, okay, let me create one employee object. After that, these all the attributes should be present after creating the employee object. So whenever they are requesting, please give me details of the employee. So these are all the attribute as to respond. So these are the attributes detail we need to respond, like that they have created this. Okay, but for the server it is not possible to send as it is. Whenever the client is requesting something, it is not possible to send as it is how they are creating in their business logic to the client, because client will not understand that. Okay, because this is in Java language, say it is in HTML language, but the JSON is a universal notation. It will be understood by each and every language. Okay, just we are making use of the, because this is simple object creation. Okay, simple language, it is just a key value pair we are specifying here. Okay, everyone can able to understand it easily. That's why it is a very light language, and every language will know about it. Okay, and after that what happens, so server knows that server is very uncomfortable to send the whatever the object is created in the business logic as it is to the client. So what it will do, the server, okay, let me do one thing. Whatever the object I have created here, let me convert into JSON format. Okay, because JSON format will be understood by each and every person. So whatever may be it is, okay, the client side, whatever it may be, whether it is a browser or it may be any other application, so everyone can able to understand this JSON. So let me create whatever the object is there in the JSON format. Then I can give the response to the client. So like that, so it is converting this object into JSON format. Then it is providing the response. This is HTTP response in the JSON format. Okay, clear now? Mm-hmm. Clear, right?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Okay. So now what happens? Here? Okay. So someone was asking here, how this client will understand this JSON. Okay. This part is done now. Okay. Here what happens? Object to JSON conversion is happening in the server side. Object to JSON conversion is happening. Okay. Correct. In the server side, what is happening? This is the object creating, and we are converting to JSON format. Okay. So now it is a client part now. Okay. So now in the client side, what happens? Okay, after we are getting the request and all the request is processing here and it is creating one object like this, and server is very uncomfortable to send this object as it is to the client. Okay, so then what it is doing, it is converting object, whatever the object is there in the JSON format. Okay, it is coming here now. Okay, so maybe now this JSON, this client has built in some .NET language. Okay, what we will do now? It is built in the .NET language, and we are sending some JSON request here in the client side. Okay, how this .NET language will get to know complete detail about the JSON? What we are doing here?
Uh, there's a API layer that will convert into JSON, right?
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. See here. Okay, here from server the object is created that we are converting in the JSON format and we are sending here. Okay, but here at the receiver side, .NET is there. Okay, now here JSON is there. What we will do? We will convert back to the particular
.NET
.NET
language.
object.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. So again, we are converting here from JSON format to particular .NET format, .NET object. Okay. So basically, object to JSON and JSON to object. Okay. Okay. Understood. Understood. Okay. Okay. Clear. So then this .NET can able to understand that whatever the response we are getting, and it is happily it will display the whatever the content it has to display to the UI. Okay, understanding or confusion?
Understood.
Understood, right? Any confusion here?
So
Understanding, right?
one thing.
Hmm.
Suppose like right now, like from a server, the object got transformed to JSON file, then it transformed to client side. Okay. Now client is
Mhm,
.NET. So now
mhm.
JSON get converted to .NET. So do we need to use some methods? Like, do we need to use some JSON? Like, how it will get it
Uh,
will get auto converted, or we need to implement something for that? If suppose
yeah, we
.NET is
need to
there or any
implement.
other language.
Mhm.
Okay.
See, for example, usually now we will be dealing with data. Okay, so JSON, sorry, Java. Okay, so what happens? We need to convert some JSON to like object means we'll be using some Google JSON API, a simple JSON API, Jackson API is there. Okay, so we will be making use of that and we will be converting it. Okay, so next while working with some other thing like methods and all, we will be making use of these things and all. How we are converting from object to JSON and JSON to object, we have to use this and all the things. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So maybe .NET also maybe they are using some other APIs. I don't know about the .NET, but Java, well, JSON to Java, how we are converting, and from object to
Mm.
JSON, how we are converting. These things and all we are working with this. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
okay, yeah. So then, hmm. this object to JSON conversion, we also call it as a marshalling. Okay, in interview they may ask you what is marshalling. So you just tell like whatever the object we receive from the server side, so that we are converting in the JSON format. This is nothing but marshalling. In interview they will ask you this question to check the knowledge. Okay, now tell me what we call for the JSON to object. JSON to object conversion and marshalling. Okay. So this is nothing but just we are sending the request and it is going here. It is performing all the action and which is converting in one object of the particular language. But server is very uncomfortable to send this object as it is to the client. So it is converting it in the JSON format. Okay. So after converting in the JSON format, the response is going in the format of JSON. Okay. To display that, okay, in the whatever the language it is there, and then again we are converting it to the particular JSON to object, then we are displaying in the UI side. Okay, so this object to JSON we call it as a marshalling, and JSON to object we call it as a unmarshalling. Okay, this much clear? And here we are creating the objects. Okay, so inside the object we have all the attributes, like how we have attributes in the Java. So the same way, or what are the objects is there, we are creating like this. Inside that we are combining all these attributes. Okay, so now okay, so now what happens? Okay, like employee ID is there. Okay, and employee name is there. Okay, and salary. Okay, and this employee uh has some list of mobiles. Okay, some list of mobiles he has some so many mobiles like Samsung, iPhone, uh Motorola. Okay, he has some three mobiles. Okay, so how we can declare that in the format JSON? Okay, so that is the question. Okay, here he has see here we will having only single value. Okay, single data we will be having, but here we have a multiple data. Okay, here we have a single data, but here we have a multiple data now. So we have a here we have a Samsung, and here we have a Motorola. Here we have a iPhone. Okay, so let me write this in the JSON format. Okay, so this is the employee object. Okay, okay, can you guys help me writing this? Okay, in Java. Okay, in Java, so when you have to store multiple values in single variable, which concept you will make use? Okay, whenever
Array
you want to
concept.
store, yeah, okay, so whenever you want to store single value, okay, you will create a variable and you will store it. Okay, but you want to store multiple values in a single variable, you will make use of the array concept. Correct? Okay, so here also this mobile is one variable. Inside this variable we are storing multiple values. Correct? Okay, so JSON is also providing that facility to create a JSON array. Okay, so we can deal with the JSON object and also with a JSON array. Okay, JSON is providing that facility for us to create a JSON array here. Okay, so now we will work with how we can create this JSON array. Okay, so first I'm creating employee object. Employee ID. Okay, now this mobile is the variable mobile semicolon, and we have to start whenever we are declaring the JSON array. So we have to start with the bracket. Okay, inside the array, I have okay. Samsung. Maybe what is the Samsung model? S1 and Motorola and M1, maybe iPhone. Let's see. Okay, so end this bracket, then end this object. Okay, so this is how we are creating the employee object. Inside the employee object, we are creating the array. Okay, so you can also create one more object here. Inside the array, you can also create any number of objects, like okay, so take an example of this. So this is one array. We are creating one array with a square bracket. We are starting this with a square bracket, and then we are starting creating the list of objects here inside the array. Okay, so open with one curly brace and close with one curly brace, and again we are starting one more object. That's why we are ending with the semicolon L. Okay, so inside the object, all the attributes, whatever the attributes we need to create. Okay, so here this is a alphanumerical character. That's why they are enclosing it with the double quotes. Okay, don't get confused. This is not a number. This ID, they are using the alphanumerical character here. Okay, so that's why they are enclosing it in the double quotes. Then after that, inside the object, again they are creating one more array here. Okay, see, this is attribute, this is one attribute, this is one attribute. After that, this bytes, this is one array. Are you able to see here? They're starting with a square bracket and ending the square bracket. Okay, then they're closing this object here. Inside, after that, again one more object creating. So it means that inside the array we can create any number of objects. Inside the object we can create any number of arrays. Okay, okay, clear with this?
Yes.
Any confusion? Okay, so just now I want to show this how it is working. Okay, so this is the get request. Okay, so I'm requesting, please get me the list of user. Okay, so this is now I'm in this get request and I'm requesting, please get a list of user. Okay, so when I'm sending this parameter, okay. Okay, so I'm getting the response in the form of JSON. Okay, are you able to see this?
Yes.
Okay, so when I'm requesting the request, I'm just requesting, I'm not sending any data here. Okay, so I'm just get request time. Okay, so whenever we are just requesting something from the server, by that time we have to make use of get method. Okay, that we will be learning in the next tomorrow session. Okay, so I'm already some data present in the server, so I'm just requesting, please provide me the detail. Okay, by the time I'm using get method, and whatever the data I'm whatever the response I'm receiving, it is in the JSON format. Okay, so why we are learning this JSON format? Because so whenever we are dealing with this like a request and response and all, so we should be able to understand whatever the data we are getting now, so we should be able to analyze it. Okay, see here the object they are created. Okay, inside the object page, okay, inside that per page what is the value? Okay, total how many thing is there inside that? Again they are creating one array. Inside the array, okay, they are enclosing list of user. Okay, so they are enclosing list of user here, correct? So inside the array they are creating list of objects. In one object also one user details present. Okay, clear?
So if you want to retrieve the value from the array, so like if you want to take a values from the array, so how we are going to take?
Okay, so yeah, it's a good question. Okay, so okay, now you want to take a value from this array. Okay, so
Yes.
how you will retrieve, how you will traverse to the particular array? First you have to specify the employee object name. First you have to traverse, your control should come here. Okay, emp. After that, after coming to the emp, where you have to jump in this attributes, you have to come to this attribute mobile, correct?
Okay.
So after coming into the mobile, which mobile you detail you want, that you have to specify. Dot. So in this you need maybe iPhone. Okay, so you will be getting the value of the particular array. So basically you have to traverse inside the array, inside the object and inside the array. First you have to specify the object name, then inside the object which attribute value you need. So okay, this array attribute means then you have to specify this array name. Then inside the array which particular attribute you need, that you have to specify here. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so any confusion in this? This is very simple actually.
Uh, Suppose if we want to store character,
Mm.
then we have to use single quote, right? Inside data. character type data.
No, you have to enclose in double quotes only. Okay, so these are all the data types present in the in the JSON. Okay, so string data type, number data type, object, array, boolean, and null. Okay, by within this you can use anything, it will accept. Okay,
If you want to show character type data, like
then also you can specify like this only, like
within double quote.
yeah. For example, we can take type semicolon. Okay, take it as a blood type.
Because in Java we store as single quote, right? That's why.
Yeah. So here you can use the double quotes. Okay, here there is no concept of character, and separate concept is not there here. Okay, so we have our data types like this: string we have, number we have, object we have, array we have, boolean we have, null we have. Okay, so we can specify this thing. So when you're specifying the single character also, you enclose that in a double quotes only. Yes, Java we can specify in the single quotes when you're specifying the character, and when we are specifying the string collection of character, we're making use of double quotes. Correct.
Oh.
But here you can specify the both thing in the double quotes only. Okay, so basically these many types we can store inside the JSON variables. Okay, so string type, number type, object type, array type, boolean type, null type. Okay, clear or any doubt? Any doubt?
Yeah.
Not as such right now. One doubt,
Something
like for
so.
Boolean type. So for Boolean, suppose if I'm giving true or false, so do I need to give the double quotes also, right? In between that, I'll give a true and false, or simply without
No.
quotes.
No, for the Boolean and all, you don't need to specify any double quote, single quote, nothing you can specify. Okay, for the number under Boolean, you don't need to specify anything. Okay, so here I was telling this, right? The syntax, it's called. Okay, the value should be retained like this. Okay, for the string, double quote should be used. Okay, while for the number and Boolean, quote should not be
Should
used.
not be.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. For the numbers and Boolean, you should not be used any quotes and all. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Okay. And you got it right, like how to write the create a object inside the object creation of the array. Inside the array, also you can create one more array. Inside the object, you can create
Yes.
one more object. Okay. So this is what here they are specifying. Okay. So inside the variable, okay, you can store of string type. Okay. Here they are storing it as a string type. Okay. So here they are storing it as a array type. Okay. See, this name is one attribute. This age is one attribute. The car is one attribute. So inside here, they're storing it as a string type. Here, they're storing it as a number type. Here, they're storing it as a array type. Okay. The same way, here they can also store it as a object type also. Okay. Okay. Understood?
Yes.
Everyone? Okay. Gaurav, Ramanchania, Akshay. Understood, right?
Ma'am, so in car subject is only having key, not associated value. Is it possible like that?
Your voice is breaking, Akshay. What you're asking?
Yeah, hello. So here in car subject, it is having only key value, not means only key, not having value. For code BMW.
Value is there, no? See, this is the value, multiple of values it is. Okay. See, car is the key. It contains multiple of values. That's why we are using array concept here. Understanding? See here, okay, name is the key, John is the value. Age is the key, 30 is the value. Cars is the key. See, cars that is not a car, not a single car. Okay, cars means multiple value. Okay, so suppose John is there, so his age is 30. He is having 3 cars in his home. Okay, so you need to specify all the 3 cars also in the so suppose it is some object. Okay, so what he is doing, he is making use of a array concept because he need to store all the values inside the cars key only. Okay, you don't want to create like car 1, car 2, car 3 like this different attribute. Okay, see here like this I'm telling. So you don't want to create like um okay, car 1. BMW. Oh my god. Okay, and car 2. It's not required, right? Because all are cars only. So let's create a single variable. Then declare all the things in one only. Fort. Okay. So the same type. Okay, is creating different attributes. This is simply time wasting and also length of the thing. This object will be increased, right? So instead of that, only one key is specifying like cars, and he is making use of the array concept. Okay, just compare with the array concept. Why we will use the array? Because we don't want to create a multiple of variables like this, car 1, car 2, car 3 like that. Okay, okay, say suppose, okay, now we just have a 3 cars. Okay, we can create a car 1, car 2, car 3 like that. Okay, say suppose take an example like we have 1,000 cars. Okay, so by the time it's not possible to sit and write car 1, car 2, car 3, car 4 like that till 1,000 cars, right? So instead of that, only single key like cars, and declare all the cars, whatever the cars we have in the array. Okay, same like how the array works, no, same like that only. So this is the card, and it contains multiple values. That's why we are enclosing it in the array format, like array syntax we are using here. Understood, Akshay? Are there any doubt?
Yeah, understood. But in earlier slide, we were using inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one.
No.
That's right.
No, dear. No, what is happening? Here they are writing in a single line. Okay, I am writing in like this. I'm separating like this. Okay, so they are writing in a single line. Okay, you are telling. Oh, this one you are telling like again I have mentioned key value, but here they are just mentioning the name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that you are telling. Okay, that's fine. So here, mm, so here like I'm again okay, like I'm giving a array name, then I am specifying inside the array. I'm again specifying the key value attribute. Okay, here what they are doing directly, they are specifying one key and just specifying all the names. There's not specifying any model and all in this. Okay, that's why they are making use of like this. But by looking into the syntax, you can get to know, right?
Yeah.
Here
So
I'm
this
specifying
is
the array
normally
name, then
set object, like something like inside employee
what?
another object.
Inside employee another attribute. That attribute like this. See, this is one attribute. This is one attribute. This is one attribute. This is one attribute. But this attribute contains multiple values. That's why here we are making use of array concept. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes,
So
understood.
suppose this is employee 1. Okay, this is employee 1 detail. Okay. Okay, now you want to create one more employee 2 detail. Okay, now it is employee 1 and this is employee 2. What you will do? Entire employee 1 and employee 2, how you will combine? Which concept you will use? This is employee 1 detail now. Okay, now say suppose here I'm ending with the comma, and here again I will start one more object detail, employee 2. Okay, like this I will start, and the same thing, whatever the thing I have written in the here, I will all the details is present here also. Okay, but now it is 2 object. This is one entire thing is one object, and this is one object. So what you will do? Where you will enclose this 2 object? You can use the array concept here also, right? Let me use the array concept because I'm enclosing 2 objects. Okay, so 2 objects. So I'm creating one array, and inside the array I have one employee 1 object and employee 2 object. Okay, so 2 objects I'm enclosing in the single, take it as a single box, that is nothing but array. Okay, so if I want to access all the employee detail, how I will specify? Say suppose here array name. Okay, here array is there. Here I have provided simply array array. Okay, list of employee detail is there. For example, just simply I'm taking 2 example. Okay, say suppose there are 50 or 60 some list of employees are there. Okay, in that list of employee, in this array I need any particular employee. So what I will do? I need employee 1 detail. Okay, array dot employee 1. So all the employee 1 detail will be printed out. Whatever the details are there, everything will be get displayed. Okay, so in the same way, if you need employee 2, okay, array dot employee 2, you can use here employee 2. Okay, understood? Clear, guys? Still having doubt? Clear?
Yes, clear.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this is for today's. Okay, so we done with the JSON. So from tomorrow we start working with the all the methods, so which is present HTTP methods. Okay, like get. So here we have a list of methods now. Get, put, patch, delete. So these are the methods we will be working from tomorrow. Okay, so first we will work with Postman. So we will get some hands-on experience with the manual things. Then we will jump into the automation. Okay.